Hydration's not the Genji player. Never mind. I'm just talking out of my ass right now.
Welcome to the Full Tag Podcast. I'm Connor.
I'm
joined
Ben.
with Ben.
Yeah.
How are you doing this week, Ben?
I'm doing great. I had a nice little trip to visit my girlfriend this weekend, so I did that instead of watching Overwatch Friday and Saturday.
Nice.
So I'm ready to give you all the hard and swift facts about which teams are good and bad based on the half games I've seen.
Right. I am fully prepared to make wild accusations off of the little games that I saw this week.
Yeah.
So it was kind of an upset week this week, I think. A lot of stuff happened that I was not expecting at all.
Not expecting at all.
Some big ones. Gladiators took Atlanta.
I'm so upset about this.
Me too.
I was high on the Gladiators up until last week when they disappointed me.
Right.
And then I was just completely off of them, saying the Gladiators are actually bad. I thought they had all the pieces together to be a good team, but no, I guess they're not. So they're going to just do bad. I had them lose both games they played this week against a stronger, in my opinion, Guangzhou Charge and Atlanta Reign team.
Yeah.
And no, they 4-0'd one of the best teams in the league.
I can't believe it.
The very first game of this week, too.
Yeah.
They beat the Atlanta Reign.
Whew.
And then they beat the Guangzhou Charge. I'm so upset.
3-1 Guangzhou Charge, too. I mean, not even like a close win. London lost to the Dragons, the new GOATs, Dragons.
That was such a fun game to watch.
That was a really fun game. We got to see some McCree in that game.
Anytime we get to see heroes that we don't usually see, that's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
We got
to see Hanzo in that game.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Hanzo Widowmaker.
Yeah.
London Spitfire team.
Like the old days. I miss it. I want it to always be double snipers.
Like, if you want to watch one map from this week, it was Game 5, London Spitfire, Shanghai Dragons. They were back and forth the entire time.
Oh my god.
It was on Ilios. They were using their best heroes. You saw a lot of Hanzo. Got to see a lot of just people playing. And it was so much fun to watch as a spectator.
Yeah, you got to see Ding on Pharah. You got to see Prophet on Tracer for a bit. DM on Widow was going off for a little bit. Hanzo Prophet.
Yeah, Hanzo Prophet. The reason why they won the championships last year.
Right. Gamsu is, of course, looking insane on Reinhardt. Because Gamsu is just one of the better Reinhardts in League right now, I think.
Like we said during our second podcast, he is a Reinhardt player, which is exactly what the Shanghai Dragons need.
That's exactly what they need.
Yeah.
OG was kind of shitty on Ryan this week, but we'll get to that later. Bumper was the other one. Bumper was another one that I was like, man, he is such a good Winston, but his Reinhardt is kind of iffy.
Well, Bumper on Reinhardt is just that he's a great Reinhardt player. He's one of the best Reinhardt players in the league. It's just he's extremely stupid aggressive, and his team facilitates that. And when his team cannot facilitate that, there are some issues.
Yeah, they just fall apart. But if they can keep him up, then he'll just go off.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching him.
If there's one game
main tank
to watch this week, it is Vancouver Titans Chengdu Hunters, the very last one.
I did not watch that.
Titans look so vulnerable.
Really?
Vancouver was able to win in a game 5, 3-2. Chengdu won game 2 and 3. So Vancouver had to really fight that game 4 on Route 66.
It's so rough coming back from like 2 losses, no matter where you are. 2 losses in a row in these games is just so brutal to come back from.
Unless
if you're reverse sweeping. Yeah.
If you could win the game 4, you immediately win game 5 because it's King of the Hill.
Yeah. It's just easy mode after round 4. But yeah, for them to battle like after that 2-round loss and just get 2 wins right in a row, it's tough.
So I want to jump into this game because it was the most exciting game that we have had this week.
Go for it.
So, Vancouver barely won this game.
Right.
You didn't watch this game, did you, Connor?
I did not. So you're gonna paint me a picture.
The reason that Chengdu Hunters almost beat the undefeated Vancouver Titans, they played goats.
They play goats.
This is a shocker. You actually saw Among of the Chengdu Hunters. He was on Reinhardt almost the entire game. As soon as Game 2 started, he was essentially playing Reinhardt the entire rest of the
Of
match,
course.
which is a big shock because he likes his wrecking ball better. That's what he plays more.
Oh, yeah,
This
yeah.
team is known for their unconventional compositions.
That's right.
Or Jinmu on his Pharah, you see a lot of wrecking ball out of him.
Right.
A lot of Widowmaker with Bacon Jack. And they switched it up and played Goats. Vancouver Titans was planning for a wrecking ball centered comp, unconventional composition by the Chengdu Hunters team. They didn't expect them to be playing Goats, and that's what threw them for a loop.
That makes a lot of sense.
The announcer said it the best. The Reinhardt player, the anchor point of the team. Reinhardt players typically try and study the opposing team's Reinhardt players to figure out what kind of style they are, what kind of Reinhardt play they're like, and they can adjust their game and plan for that, all the sorts of mind games between them. There is no tape on Amon playing Reinhardt because he only plays Wrecking Ball.
Right.
So nobody knows what his style is because he doesn't play the character.
Right.
And
so how can you ever figure him out?
Yeah. That's what put Vancouver on edge, and which is why they almost lost this game, is because Chengdu used 300 IQ strategies. Like, hey, let's play the meta. They won't expect that. And they did it.
Oh man! So who is Vancouver's main take? It's Bumper.
It
was Bumper and Janu. Sorry,
Janu was player of the game. He looked amazing. While everybody else was thrown for a loop, he looked like he was solid. He got a nice 3K. He followed up immediately by an Eaton Graviton Surge.
A big old bomb to open it. There were some big bombs out of Dallas this week. And I want to talk about one fight particular later.
I know which one you're talking about.
Do you?
The inside Nepal map, wasn't it?
Oh, you know exactly what we're going to talk about. But some other games this week. Paris Vancouver was obviously really good. I really like that one.
I'm so upset about Paris.
I know you're bummed, but I really like that Vancouver was able to keep the perfect score going.
They 4-0'd them.
They 4-0'd them. I mean, it kind of sucks for Paris now. I mean, because they're obviously not as strong as we originally thought. Yeah. You know, we overestimated them, it seems like now.
Oh, I feel so silly. Their game against San Francisco Shock, that first map, their first King of the Hill map.
Right.
They kept starting each point completely strong. And then they just lost all the momentum, letting San Francisco take map 1, and they just completely fall apart. They kept getting overwhelmed. And my note from watching that game was, I guess their first few wins are a fluke.
Right.
Like I think they're a solid team. They got a nice, solid core of players.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know what happened to them. They just kind of fell off the face of the planet.
We got to see some exciting stuff at the beginning of the match. Yes. We got to see some Suman Su and Soon on McCree, which got me really excited. But then it instantly, as soon as they died, switched back to Goats, of course.
Of course.
I just wish for one game we got to just normal DPS through the entire game.
Yeah.
I mean, the only variation that we're seeing in these games.
Yeah.
Is I think the entire time they were pretty much in Paris. Vancouver, they were pretty much running Goats the entire time, right?
Sometimes Sombra, sometimes Winston, but
that's all.
I will say, to be fair,
yeah,
Paris has had a very tough schedule week 1, or like a stage 1.
Yeah.
I mean, this week they played Vancouver and San Francisco, two really good teams, so it's hard to fault them for losing against these tough teams.
Oh, for sure. But San Francisco only have one game this week?
I think they had 2. I think they won both. No, they got 4'd by New York Excel.
Yeah, they got 4'd by New York Excel, of course.
I mean,
it's New York Excel.
New York Excel.
And they looked really good against Paris. I did watch a few of the highlights from that one. And, yeah, they're looking solid. Are you still up on them? Are you going to keep them?
I'm still up on them.
Okay.
They got some really good damage dealing with Sinatra.
Right.
They're very good at making their decisions on who to pull and who to keep in, all that jazz. But the true anchors of their team are their supports. Violet, Sleepy. I think both of them are Zenyatta players.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them are their Zenyatta players. Sleepy was came at first. And I think Violet's been playing more so later in their winning time. But Violet and Sleepy have the number 1 and number 3 highest healing per 10 minutes in the entire league. Violet has been really helping him out. He's been a solid DPS. He's been, again, the highest healer in the league right now. He's just been a very solid player. And
highest on Zenyatta?
Yeah, highest healing.
Wow.
Well, to be fair, who's he competing with most of the time?
That's
Lucio,
true.
Who's on speed boost anyway, and then Brigitte, who is not played as a healer.
Right. So you get I mean, they're healing through the entire, every Graviton surge, So he's going to be building up a bunch of healing.
Transcendence, you eat so much damage anyway.
Yeah. And then who was Paris's Zenyatta?
Paris's Zenyatta, Hip is Hip, HYP.
HYP.
Yes. He's really good, too. He's also one of the highest Zenyatas in the game.
Oh, yeah.
But granted, you get a lot of healing and when your team keeps dying so much, because that's why I also have number 4 right now, Izayaki of the Los Angeles Valiant at 4.
And Valiant has been... How did they do this week? They lost to Houston.
It's Los Angeles
which Houston
Valiant
has been garbage, too, this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they lose to them, that's rough.
Really fun game was, like I said, the first one, Los Angeles Gladiators versus Atlanta Reign. Gladiators, I feel so bad because Gladiators are actually good after I slammed them all last week.
Yeah, they looked really good this week.
It looked one-sided. Like,
they
actually kept getting the first kill in most of their matchups, which is big because they're the second worst team in the entire league apart from the Washington Justice at actually procuring that first kill.
Ooh,
in a fight.
That's not a very high bar right now against Washington Justice.
But some of the most fun I've seen, I think it was on their third map, Gladiators.
Against Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gladiators played triple tank dive.
Whew! Oh, man, I missed that.
I was ready for it. They played, it was Anubis. They played it, I think, on the first point and swapped, I think, when they lost the team fight on the second point of it.
But it was still triple tank dive. What is it? What?
Winston Diva Wrecking Ball.
Oh, man. We really never got to see.
And they played Genji. You had
what?
You had Hydration on Genji.
Hydration came out with Genji. I need to watch that.
Came out on Genji, and the entire audience flipped their shit.
Of course.
But anyway, Los Angeles Gladiators played triple tank dive.
Nice.
And it was so much fun to watch.
So what was the it was Winston Diva Hammond, which we did not ever in the really predominant dive meta. We didn't have dive meta when Hammond was in the game, and that's what I was expecting him to fit into and make better. Yeah,
I think everybody thought it was going to be triple dive. Triple tank dive would be a thing. Which honestly, I think we're going to see a lot more of now once this patch hits. We'll see a lot more triple tank dive, especially with more DPS being played.
I hope so. I want to see more aggressive style play where people get picked off, quickly or something. Like, I want to see one-hit kills from Widows. I want to see McCree's stunning and fanning hammer against things again.
Yeah. Like,
that's fun to watch,
It's fun to watch for the players, for everybody.
Right now, we're just watching kill feeds,
Yeah.
Which is upsetting.
We don't get to stay on the Widowmaker just flicking heads.
Right. Which is the most exciting it was last year, obviously. Another one that was really surprising, of course, this week. But surprising for different reasons for us. Dallas, Shanghai. We both went into it saying Dallas is going to lose this week.
Yeah.
We were convinced that Dallas is going to lose this week.
We were convinced because they shouldn't have won last week, probably.
No, not at all. I mean...
We did it.
And then right out the gate this week, as soon as they came out, they looked strong. Dragons did. Like, out the gate, they had Giguri just destroying on Diva.
Shanghai looked amazing at first. And I thought, wait. And honestly, my note when I was watching that first point, because we got our asses handed to us 100-0 on the first map in Nepal, was the Shrine, I think. And what I said was, if I didn't know we were going to 4-0 the Dragons, I would be very worried.
I would have probably, started watching something else because I knew just how it was going to go,
Yeah.
But no, it was first point Nepal.
Yes.
We tried to roll out with May, and that just completely fell apart right away.
I would have thought RCK can't flex that well.
He can't flex to May, ever. No. I don't know
But
anyone on
that,
Fuel who
that's my
can.
complaint. The only reason RCK is seeing play over Mickey is that he can technically play Sombra better.
Right. And that's it. I don't know who would play May on our team, who would flex over to May on our team.
One of our DPS is probably like AKM. Didn't he play May?
I'm sure he has, but like obviously that's not his thing.
I'm pretty sure last year, whenever it would be the inevitable snowball to lose, I think was Chips would always play May, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think Chips like ever saw play last year.
Right. And it just, I think it was the next round, RCK came back out and switched over to Sombra because, of course, what else are you going to do in that situation?
Yeah, because they play Sombra.
They instantly started to look better right from the gate, right out the gate there. I think it was second round.
Yes.
That the big fight was on.
I believe it was the last one.
Yeah, that's right.
It was the last one. It was the last one.
It was the last one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but there was like RCK got a huge 5K or a 5 hack and a 4 hack EMP on Nepal that were winning fights. So he was doing pretty good on Sombra.
He wasn't even doing okay. I remember one specifically. I think it was Hollywood. He just completely wasted an EMP and they lost the next fight because of that.
I remember
RCK is not that good at Sombra. It was just the dang on Sombra this week getting outplayed for some reason or another.
Well, you know what I did see from him that I really liked? This was kind of a smaller play. This was a 4 EMP. They were attacking on, is it Sanctuary? Or what's the one with the statue in the center?
I have no idea, man.
I think it's Shrine, I think it's called, or something like that.
They're
but it's they're all kind of shrines. But he had his translocator placed on a roof above high ground. Do you remember that?
I had the exact same thing written down too.
I never thought of that as much as I've been playing Sombra recently, and I want to try that. That's why I was trying to play today, was because I wanted to mess around with that. But they all engaged down and were forced down to attack the Sombra because he was just poking at him. This
was genius.
Oh yeah. And then as soon as they went to go swarm him, he just translocated right behind him, slid down the roof, and then EMP'd and got 4 of them. And he
what happened?
Like the Lucio who was in the background too. Perfect.
The announcers were just like, yeah, I'm not sure what RCK is trying to do here, just trying to poke at him. Why he got out translocated to give away his position. Then immediately translocated back and then EMP'd from on the roof.
Right.
And the reason this was successful is one of my notes about the Dragons this week. Dragons look a lot better. They should have lost to the London Spitfire, but they didn't. Right. And I'm happy about that because that was a fun game to watch.
Me too. Yeah, agreed.
Shanghai Dragons have become extremely predictable to look at.
I think that's their main flaw.
Want to know why RCK had his translocator on that roof and got that big EMP? Because
they came that
because they went. And that was the third time they went up in that roof to try and engage the fight.
Right.
Against the London Spitfire, the Shanghai Dragons kept, on Anubis in particular, they kept trying to take the left room, snake over onto the bridge, up into the building. Every single time, and sure enough, they kept getting beaten at that.
I mean, they did that on every fight of Third Point Nepal, which the big fight was on. They always would try and come in through the mega room on the right of attacking.
Yeah.
And every time they were able to stop them.
They're not flexible.
No.
It's like whenever they substitute Gaguri or Guardian for Deding, RCK was immediately put on Sombra because they know Deding is the one who's going to be playing Sombra for them.
Right.
And sure enough, he is. They're very predictable. They're a much better team. They were able to struggle out a win against the London Spitfire.
Right.
But they're an ugly-looking team right now.
They're getting there.
They're getting there.
I want to see them get a little better coaching, you know?
Yes.
Because that's what a lot of that is right now. They're looking they have a solid base now. I think Gaguri and Deding are 2 of the best players on that team right now.
Easily. Gamsu helps, I think.
Gamsu, I should never downplay Gamsu.
You can see him. I think it's honestly the coaching at that point.
Yeah, I think it is. They aren't training properly, and they aren't learning how to shot call properly.
They're engaging in the same spots every single game. That was their issue with both games this week. They got forward in one. They barely snuck out a win against the other.
There was another. with coaching and coordination,
Yeah.
there was their take on it, which is to keep doing the same thing, which
Yeah.
is the exact wrong thing that you're doing. That's the bad coordination.
Yeah.
You know who has the most insane coordination in league right now?
New York Excelsior?
No, Vancouver.
Mm,
Vancouver has the most insane coordination. I was watching a video.
I'm aware of that, but New York Excelsior is probably the correct answer.
Listen, I wanna put it out there. I
It's
think
like
that
saying who's your favorite player in any sport, and it's like the best
Right.
one. I'm like, yeah, okay.
the best one. I want them to win in that in that
Me too.
1v1
I'm
later.
excited. I'm excited if that matchup happens. So
That's
excited
gonna be like stage, like the last game of the season, basically.
last
which
game
sucks.
of the season. I hope they play each other in the Stage 1 playoffs.
Me too. I do
If
too.
that doesn't happen, great on the team that either beat Vancouver or New York, but
Right. Yeah.
Great for
Congratulations and enjoy your
Yeah.
$100,000 win or whatever it is for the stage playoffs now. They had a play today. Vancouver had a play, or not today. They had a play Horizon where they were defending and they needed to hold to first tick. They wanted to hold first tick on point A. They had rotated around so where the attackers, I can't remember what team they were facing, but the attackers were on point and they were on high ground, usually where you hold choke on
Horizon.
Horizon. Yeah, thank you. And what they did was the Diva flew in right as it was about to tick over to capturing the first tick, right?
Yes.
So to contest it, and was able to fly off and direct most of the enemy or the attacking team to go chase after him, but he got bubble and harmony orb and everything so that everyone could kind of focus on him, and then instantly blocked off one of the chokes with Diva Bomb while the rest of them dropped down.
Was that Janu?
It might have been against
Vancouver that did this?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do you remember what I'm talking about at all?
I didn't watch. That was on Friday. Couldn't watch that game.
Yeah. But they just had this coordination so down packed to where they never had somebody not contesting at perfect timing, basically.
That's insane.
And they managed to block off the exit with ult, push them all back into the ult, kill the entire enemy team, and they didn't get single tick on Horizon point A.
That's
it was
amazing.
insane.
Janu has to be my favorite player on that Vancouver team. He knows when to get those sick Diva bombs. He's so well coordinated with his team to let that happen.
Oh yeah.
So many grabs. He's one of the big keys into facilitating Bumper acting so stupid aggressive.
Right. He's just able to put defense matrix in the exact right spot every time.
It's because Bumper knows that Siominsu and Janu are the ones who are going to make sure he doesn't get mowed down.
Right. God, I wish there was a stat for how many graviton surges they ate.
Oh my.
He's 2 on eliminations. He's ranked 2
yes.
on
That's
eliminations.
What I noticed. Janu is number 2 right now in the league at eliminations per 10 minutes. The rest of them are Zarya.
Yeah.
Like Repel
all the other top eliminators are playing Zarya because Zarya is the main damage dealer right now.
Yeah.
But Janu's like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna play Diva and deal all the damage.
One in elims per 10 minute over his teammate Siominsu on Zarya.
Right. So I mean, that's why they're so stacked right now.
Technically, right now the top 3 in elims per 10 minutes are all 3 Vancouver, but number 1 Repel on Vancouver. I think he came in for like 1 or 2 maps for Vancouver. Yeah. So I don't really count it, but
right. I do count Janu and Siominsu.
It's insane.
Yeah, they're
all those other players. Erster, one of the Zaryas for Atlanta. Nene, Zarya for Excelsior. AKM, right. Zarya for Dallas. DeFran, other Zarya for Atlanta. Vince came in for Seoul. And then it only hits when we hit Mecco later for New York Excelsior that we see a non-Zarya. Yeah, but back to Shanghai Dallas. That third point had like the final overtime push was like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it went over. It switched sides like 4 times.
So exactly how it started was because we were losing that fight. We lost 2, I think. And then RCK came in with an RCK bomb for a 2K. And then that just started this massive team fight that lasted for the entire 2 minutes.
That's what I like what Dallas is doing. They're
Yeah.
getting a lot smarter in their coaching. People were worried coming in if Jay is actually going to be a decent assistant coach, but it looks like whatever he's doing is helping at least.
Oh, for sure.
What they're doing is kind of what Paris used to do in their first 2 games.
Yeah.
Like, even though they'd be down like a player or two, they would be cognizant of who's still available and if positioning, and they'll be able to turn a fight around.
Right.
And they were able to do that on that point multiple times. They were down 2. They should have, for all intents and purposes, lost. But RCK was able to pop a bomb in and
get his big flashy bomb and save the day. That's RCK.
Like I said, if I didn't know that Dallas was going to 4-0, because I watched that game earlier today, we're recording on a Monday, I would have thought Shanghai had it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I was just looking at the screen, like, RCK has his bomb, so what is going to happen is RCK is going to win this fight for us. Sure enough, we did.
And then right after that, I think it was right after that, we were finally able to mount a decent defense on a hybrid map.
Like, that was Shanghai's Anubis.
Yeah.
Was the ugliest Overwatch I've ever seen.
Oh, I'm talking about on Hollywood.
On Hollywood.
Yeah. They
Hollywood
were able to actually defend on Hollywood.
Here's the thing that happened with that. They kept going the exact same way.
Exactly.
And they couldn't come back on because Dallas was all ready for them.
Right. They were doing, but that's been one of their main things is just they fall apart. I think they need to just play a bunch more of just defending, obviously.
The player of the game was solely, for me, it was RCK this entire game. And that's only because he was out sombering Ding, who was playing very poorly to that game. Which is the reason, honestly, I think why they lost is because he was doing poorly and RCK was able to capitalize on that. That Hollywood map, RCK was going off on Umbra with those fat EMPs.
Yeah.
The first, I think he had an EMP on both of the first team fights when they're on offense.
I think so.
It was
on
insane.
Hollywood? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I remember him building it every EMP up just ridiculously quick. Even when he switched on Nepal, as soon as he switched on Nepal, he basically, I remember looking at it, his alt charge and seeing 91%. And I was like, did he just switch over?
Yeah, that's insane. He was able to capitalize well.
Oh, yeah.
The team did not look together for one reason or another. Shanghai just looked sloppy.
Dallas is getting better at looking more consistent, I think.
Dallas is looking so good right now.
OG
in particular, it was on Anubis for Dallas.
Yeah.
They, like, if somebody dies early, I think it was like RCK on Diva died early.
Yeah.
And they knew how to move back well while still being able to stay in the fight and provide pressure on the enemy team. They were playing a very smart defensive game. And they were able to wait for RCK to get back and stop them on defense. Like, they were so well communicated. They were just looking so good against the Shanghai team, which I didn't think was going to happen.
Right. What I noticed that they were doing with RCK, they were doing a lot of really heavy communication plays where they were like just telling the RCK to quickly try and hack the Reinhardt. So he just flick for a second and try and stop, the hack. And they'd all just capitalize on that one little spot,
Yeah.
And they're getting really good at being able to count that out,
They're looking a lot better. Because, like, early on, they kept getting absolutely decimated by one team. And then they were able to do well again in their next. That was my issue with Dallas. I thought they were going to be very hit or miss like that. But then they've won four or 5 games in a row now. They won like 2-3 games in a row now, rather.
I was about to say, I think we lost one recently.
No, we've won our last 3 games, 2-3 games, I thought.
Yeah, we're looking solid right now. It's good not being as stressed out anymore,
because,
to where even if we're just at a mid-range team, it's good not being stressed out every game.
Well, right now, Dallas is sitting at number 5 overall in the stage playoffs.
That's not bad.
And then stage 5 or week 5, we're playing Boston Uprising, which I think is an extremely winnable game.
I think that's a very winnable game. I mean, right now, this is going into the last week. We have in the stage 1 playoffs, Guangzhou Charge. This is going up. Guangzhou Charge, San Francisco Shock, Atlanta Reign, Dallas Fuel, Philly Fusion, Toronto Defiant, Vancouver, and New York. I think we can win fights against Toronto. I think we can win fights against Atlanta, San Francisco, and Charge.
Yes.
Philly is going to be a little rough for us. Vancouver would be a little rough for us, and New York will be rough for us, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll win anything like stage 1 playoffs, but I think the more we're winning at least one game in playoffs and kind of staying in that range of being in playoffs, that's right where I want to be. You know, if
Dallas on a 3-game win streak right now.
Nice, very nice.
I mean, the team's ahead. I mean, we beat Philadelphia Fusion.
We did beat Philly Fusion. I always forget that. I didn't believe it when it happened.
We got 4-0'd by the Charge, but we beat Philly.
Right.
Because they played trash goats.
Yeah, even on Anubis, they were actually able to defend again. They're getting better at that.
Like Shanghai, I think they forced a second round of Anubis. I'm pretty sure that game.
Right.
But oh god, their offensive push was just so ugly for like Shanghai was on Anubis.
Yeah.
It was rough.
It fell apart a lot.
It was rough. It was like, just stop. You're gonna lose.
You're gonna lose every time.
I think they got similar time banks, but Dallas is a good team and Shanghai wasn't.
Right. I watched another video today on just like how to rotate as Winston while defending Anubis. And it showed, because it might have been Dragons. I don't think it was us facing them. It might have been Dragons that was trying to attack. But basically what the circulation was when attackers were pushing left choke, you're down there, and then you instantly from there jump to right high ground.
Yeah.
And then you come, because they're going to try and attack high ground next. And you just build alt charge right there. And then you drop down to mid choke, and then you build alt charge right there. And by those 3 alternations, you have alt, and you could just instantly break up their entire team. And I saw a few teams doing that on Anubis, where they were just trying to build that Winston charge up and destabilize with because that's such a good destabilizing team-winning fight or alt if you play it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You just build that Anubis alt, and that's a great way to defend Anubis, I think. As miserable as 2 CPs are, you know.
Yeah, Dallas is looking great. I'm very happy we're seeing a lot more Winston.
Me too. I always love seeing Winston.
He's gonna probably be pretty bad soon, but
why though? Armor changes are going through.
Armor changes are going through. It's bad for him. He has armor.
He does better against armor now.
How?
Didn't the armor reduction?
Yeah, okay, he does better against armor now, but he's still getting mowed down by all these DPS.
True, but if you're playing correctly, then you should.
I mean, going into the new meta, I'd rather have Wrecking Ball than Winston, probably.
Yeah, right now, still Wrecking Ball's better and way more fun to play. Oh my god, the change is going to come through soon. We haven't gotten the change. The most amazing Hammond change ever.
I can't wait for that to drop. One of the other games that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Thursday's Philadelphia Fusion versus Los Angeles Valiant.
I wasn't able to catch that one.
That was a solid game.
Yeah.
Philly barely snuck out a win 3-2.
Philly did?
Yeah.
Is Philly looking rough?
Well, we already know Philly's looking rough. They're a good enough team that they can keep winning.
Right.
They barely won against the worst team in Overwatch right now. Well, second worst team in Overwatch because they're still the Washington Justice. But
right.
It was fun. They showed Josh Hutcherson of Hunger Games notoriety was there watching the Valiant lose badly, cheering them on, and he was talking shit about console Overwatch.
Was he? What did he say?
He made fun of Malik twiddling his sticks over there.
Ouch.
I'm like, yeah, you're a fan of the Valiant. I'd say something bad about you, but what else is there to be said? You get to watch him lose bad. Honestly, Valiant looked really good. Specifically, the Anubis map actually showed that those teams looked more evenly matched than many of the others. And definitely showed how this is not Philly's meta right now. They'd rather not be playing GOATs. But they are, and they've been doing well enough, but they've been looking pretty frail that they can easily lose. And sure enough, they barely beat the Valiant.
The hope for them right now is when the new patch rolls through, they're going
to let out a sigh of Korean relief when the new meta drops. Because
the Korean leaf is going to be very exciting for them.
Because,
also, come to my new massage parlor, Korean relief.
Yes. Oh my god. Because the Valiant almost got the reverse sweep.
Yeah.
Game
That would have
5's
been miserable
Busan
for them.
went to the very last map.
That would have been miserable for them.
Yeah.
If that was their Valiant's first win.
Yeah.
Was a reverse sweep against Philly.
like Valiant, they got Philly won 2-0 on Nepal.
Mhm.
Philly won 3-2 on Numbani. Valiant 2-1'd them on Anubis. Valiant had a really good defense against them. And then Valiant 3-0'd Philadelphia on Route 66.
Yeah.
And then they pushed the very last map on Busan.
And then
Philly was clearly the better team, and that's the only reason they won, because both of these rosters would rather not be playing GOATs.
Right.
But honestly, it was a coin flip on that last map.
Could you imagine if Valiant got their first win against who we thought was supposed to be one of the better teams?
Well, do you have anything else you want to, any games you want to talk about from last week, real quick?
Well, I think since we're on Valiant, we should start talking about
exactly what I want to think, because
some other Valiant news.
Valiant had won this game against Philly, which they probably could have. Maybe what wouldn't have happened was today, this morning, Los Angeles Valiant coach Moon fired after their 0-7 start.
Fired.
Gone.
That's the head coach. That's not even the assistant coach.
That's
so they're
head coach.
They're feeling some pressure. And of course the meme right now is send Custa up. Have Custa coach.
Oh man, that's ridiculous. And this is the team, the Los Angeles Valiant last year won, they finished in second place in the league. Right. They did well. A really good team.
But they just, I really do think it is the coaching right now, because they've got very, very good players on their team. They do.
Kareev is one of the best Zarias right now. He can deal a ton of damage. It's just they're not the best at GOATs, and that's really what it comes down to right now, which is why they're 0-7.
Right.
If this meta wasn't GOATs, Moon would have a job still.
And that sucks for him.
It sucks for him because
it's just how it is right now.
He shouldn't have been fired, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have been fired. Have you tried not being fired, Moon? It's a great way to keep your job.
Oh man.
So they're gonna have to try to get a new coach now, which they might just bump up one of their assistant coaches or bring up Custa, as a lot of the community wants.
Yeah, currently, Valiant announced assistant coach Mike Packington, Solansky will act as interim head coach, while Warzi, Stoop, Waris, and Dongsu Shin will remain as assistants.
There we go. So they have new coaching.
They got new coaching.
We'll maybe see them. Obviously, stage one's a wash, which we were at that dire state last year where we just were so fed up with stage one that we were begging for sweet release. I know that's how Valiant fans feel right now.
Oh man, it's
stage
rough.
Two.
It's Custa. It's all Custa's fault.
It's all Custa's fault. Absolutely. Now we're obviously gonna wait to see what happens with this next stage two. Do we have any confirmation from stage two if it's going to be new patch? I don't think so. We haven't gotten that yet.
I think it has to be, right?
I hope that they give the teams a little bit more of a advance on that so they can know to practice in PTR a little bit.
Yes.
Man, they need something to change right now. They've got to just try and figure out a way to slog through GOATs right now, which with this lineup, what can you do? You can't, Agilities can't play tank. Space and Fate are their two tank players, but they're obviously not doing anything well right now. I want them to be at least decent. I don't want them to go down and be the 0-28 team.
Would I have fired Moon? No, because he has proven he can be a good coach. Because the Valiant were one of the best teams last year, especially near the end. And it's just not their meta. I get from an organizational standpoint, I get it that you have to fire the coach.
Right.
I get that. I don't think he deserved it, though.
One of the main things that is probably going wrong for them right now is that their communication is all over the place. They don't have a solid shot caller right now.
Yeah.
I saw one thing that was saying it was basically like Fate, Spacey, and Kooky, or Spacey, Space and Kooky were just all shouting at each other basically for the entire match.
Yeah.
So who is the solid voice in that team? It should probably be Fate or Space, because Fate's their Rhine player.
Yeah.
You know, and Space is their, who is he playing? He's their diva.
Yeah.
It should be them, but they don't have a solid voice. So I mean, they need a coach to kind of help them figure out who should be doing that primary shot calling. So is that?
It'd be Custa, but he's not playing.
You'd think it'd be Custa.
You'd think it'd be Custa because, I mean, he's one of their guys, but he's not playing because they took him out and now Kookie's playing.
Right.
Instead. I think, honestly, like, especially for GOATs, you need your Zenyatta, Izayaki. He needs to be doing the shot calling because he's the one who has the orb. He's the one who can tell people, focus this guy, so he dies immediately.
Right.
We don't get that.
I don't know. I wonder with these teams how much of it is language barrier, of course.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be a big thing, but they must have their system of doing, you know.
Well, I mean, Atlanta has a huge language barrier with a lot of their players.
But
and they're as good as they are now.
Right.
It's an issue. I mean, with Dallas, a lot of that team has broken up by language barrier, but Closer and Unko are really good friends, actually. And you need that in your support lineup.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, you got Mickey over there as a tie player. I'm like, well, he doesn't see play, so that doesn't actually matter.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. God, I feel bad that we still don't get to see Mickey. I hope we do get to see him next stage. I want to see Mickey and play.
He's going to come and play.
Right.
Mickey has to come into play next stage, right? I don't think he's going to see the floor as long as GOATs exist.
No, if it's going to be any stage, he's got to come back in next stage.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I saw Zachary posting the other day that he does not like support anymore. And I imagine that must be miserable to be forced into playing.
For a young 18-year-old college or high school senior / freshman.
So get Mickey in there who can play Brigitte, and then he can flex off onto other things. So that Zachary can get a break.
You can play Brigitte, but you need the Brigitte role to be able to flex on a DPS, and that's why we have Zachary in.
Right.
And Zachary has been looking great.
He looks really good.
Gelled, but I hate that he isn't going to.
Yeah, he needs to get some time to play. I mean, because he's a good Widow, isn't he?
A good Widow. He's a good Genji. He's a good Bastion. He's just a good flex DPS.
Oh.
But frankly, he should be happy that he's seeing play now, because as soon as it switches back to DPS, I don't know why we would play him instead of like Effect or Taimu or.
Right.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about Taimu. He might be dead again. Taimu, yeah, we might get to actually see some Taimu next stage, which would be exciting.
My least favorite part about this Los Angeles Valiant coach firing, though, is that once we switch over to stage 2 and the meta shifts, if the patch drops to be more DPS oriented, this team is going to start winning games a lot again.
Right, and then we won't know if it was the coaching or just the meta shift.
And they'll think they're a genius that they fired their coach, but no, it's because the meta shifted, and you can actually, your DPS players, Kareem and Agilities, can play characters that they
can actually do something,
play. Yeah. Because you can't have them play Zarya, you can't have them play Brigitte.
Right.
Did you see the shit that the Dallas Fuel Facts was showing against Kai?
I didn't. What'd they say?
So there's a Twitter account called Dallas Fuel Facts. It's modeled after like the Blake Bortle Facts Twitter account that came to fruition a lot last year. My favorite one. Jane retweeted something that they had, and they screenshotted it, something or another, where Dallas Fuel Facts tweeted, Dallas Fuel under Arrow has now won more games in Series 2 Stage 1 than Kai won in Stage 1, 2, and 3 combined.
Ooh,
Kai responded, I don't think anyone in Dallas management wants actual facts in this thread, so calm down, Jane. And Jane responded with a screen cap of Vancouver's 4-0 against Paris.
Oh, no! I'm so glad that we have Jane on the front line of our shit talking, because he's hilarious.
He's really He's a good guy. He's really respectful about a lot
He
of
is,
stuff.
but he can shit talk if he needs to.
Oh, man.
And I love it.
Oh,
You can say what you want about our team, but
yeah.
we have some of the most entertaining characters in the league for sure.
That's always been true about Dallas, that we've had some of the most
Exciting
characters.
people.
This is a team that had XQC.
Yeah, this is a team that had XQC, Seagull, and Mickey. I mean, come on.
Like, I loved Paris coming in. I thought they were going to be a really good team.
Right.
They started off that way. And then I saw, I'm like, wait, they have Kai as an assistant coach. Oh.
Oh, no. He brought in XQC. We all know how that went.
Imagine the balls of an assistant coach to bring in XQC to an all-French team.
Oh, God. Wait, is that the new team that he's on?
XQC?
Who's the new team that he's on?
Dude, I don't follow XQC, man.
He posted that he's on some like contenders team or something. I don't know why he would switch to that now, because like he really does not play as much Overwatch anymore, you know?
Because he sucks at other games, and at least in Overwatch he can hit people with Winston.
Right, he can beat people to death with his monkey hands.
Okay, no, he's a substitute player for the Gladiators Legion contender.
That's
team.
right. Yeah, there we go. I remembered hearing.
I remember that sign. I remember that signing.
It just seems weird to bring him back into League. It seems like such a
good player, but
he's a good player, yeah, absolutely. But like that's such like I am sure they do it just to kind of like get some attention drawn in, you know.
Well, this team only has, just from looking at the active roster of the Gladiators Legion, they only have one tank besides XQC. So.
Oh, okay. So they needed one, and I don't think we have Kefri in contenders anymore. So, oh man, I miss some of the old Overwatch players. I'm glad that like people like Harblue are still playing and everything like that. It's good to see some really OG tank mains that stayed through. You know.
Oh yeah.
I still enjoy watching Harblue I catch his videos that he posts every week. I sometimes tune into his stream when he's on. There's the dwindling number of, original Overwatch players that's still keeping that going.
Well, because a lot of them are either getting too older at this point, or just switching over to other games.
Yeah. It does suck to see that happen.
You hate to see that.
You hate to see that.
I hate to see that.
I have been really liking watching Karq. I have really been enjoying watching Karq because Karq is still one of like the most active, like informative streamers. Hey, he's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Isn't he working with Defiant now, or playing for Defiant or something? I think that's super good.
I think he's an official streamer for the Defiant, I think.
Yeah.
/ a community manager, I think.
He should be coaching at some point. I think he's one of those people that needs to get into coaching.
I mean, over the summer, he was Team Canada's community manager.
That's right. And I thought he did coach for them.
No, he was there as the community manager. He specifically said that he's not good enough to coach right now, but to just be like the community representation.
That's good.
Great for him.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, that's great for him.
And you know what else I've been starting to watch? I've been starting to watch Sideshow, his channel on YouTube.
Yeah, he's one of the casters, right?
Yeah, he breaks down a lot of plays on his own streams.
Yeah.
And does like really in-depth looks at them, where he's drawing things on the screen and everything. Yeah. That's been really interesting to watch. I think he was the one that was going over the Horizon attack defense that I was talking about from Vancouver, and he was going over each step that they were going through. It's super interesting to watch stuff like that. I love the analytical stuff that people do. I remember there was one from Archon series that they did where they were just doing play breakdowns. I don't know if they still do them anymore.
I think they posted one. I don't know. They said something about what is an ACAM blade. I've seen a lot of their YouTube advertisements show up, and I'm like, get out of here.
I really like, because they did a few videos where they were just showing, play breakdowns. One of my favorite ones that got me into Overwatch League at the start.
Here it is. Right on my recommended channels to watch.
Yeah. one of the videos that got me into competitive Overwatch in the first place was that big first video of Seagull coming out with Team Envious for the first time.
Yeah.
And rolling out the gate with the Taimu on Bastion. Oh man. And they did a play breakdown of what they needed to do to set that up. And it was so cool watching just that play breakdown. And I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a good thing. This Overwatch League.
Yeah, no, they've been very active. I mean, just 3 days ago they had something about Snoats.
Nice.
So.
Oh yeah, I did watch that. It's the you run goats with either May or Sombra.
Yeah.
It's like running the May goats comp, which I think is actually a pretty decent comp.
Yeah, tanks are good.
Sombra's good against it. And May's good against Diva.
May's good against Hammond and that one specific map on Nepal.
Yeah. She's really good in that one specific map on Nepal.
Oh. When I was watching RCK attempt to play May on Shanghai this morning, I was brainstorming a character because May's walls, it's an incredibly unique ability. And the announcers were talking about like how May's great, especially in this map, just cutting people off from their team because there's a lot of short, narrow ways that Ice Wall really blocks off.
Right.
And I was thinking, what if they added a tank here, not a shield tank, that just makes walls?
Like, just sets up pillars or something?
Yeah, he has, like, 3 walls on, like, a resource cooldown.
And they can get, like, destroyed. And
after a certain amount of damage.
I'd be cool with that. Maybe
not even a certain amount of damage, on, like, maybe even a timer or something.
Right. Like not as large as Baptiste's damage amplification field, you know? Like, maybe just, like, a cover that you can use. Like, a deployable cover kind of thing.
Like, an actual wall that you can block off some areas, force teams to go down certain chokes. That way you're like a more defensive tank while not actually being a shield. I'm saying give them like an overheat gun because we haven't seen that gun yet in Overwatch.
Yeah, we still haven't seen an overheat gun.
And since we're already ripping off Fortnite, let's just make him build stairs too.
Yeah, like you shoot somebody and then he builds an entire apartment complex, you know?
Like legitimately, if we had a character that could make stairs, or like Jump Juice.
Jump Juice, yeah. We still haven't had a Jump Juice character.
We
need somebody that can get everyone to high ground easier.
Yeah, because jump packs are a thing in like, what, 2 maps?
Right. It's we
got the one map of Oasis.
Yes. And then there is one on Busan. Wait. No. There isn't.
So there's a jump pack, a couple jump packs on Petra.
The free-for-all map?
Deathmatch one.
Yeah.
Deathmatch, yeah.
Is there one on Paris? No. Huh.
No. I want more jump packs.
I can't remember where are. They don't do too much stuff with, like, gimmicks and maps, you know? Any gimmick on a map is always pushed to the side. You know, like the zero energy, zero gravity on Horizon.
Busan was a great example of a fun gimmick map because that one had the walls that move up and down.
That one I love.
In the back of base. And they had the big ass train.
Yeah, which I also love, especially as a Hammond player.
So when I was watching the games yesterday, I had just gotten enough credits for another Overwatch League skin.
Nice. Have you decided what you're going to get?
I remember my issue I was saying last week, how I almost did another one.
Oh, yeah.
Do I get Diva? But I've been playing a lot more Hammond. Do I get Hammond?
Ooh, the Hammond... All of the Hammond skins are really good, actually, across the league. But, of course, the Dallas Fuel one looks awesome. I want to see how the Hammond away skin looks for Fuel.
I got Hammond.
You got Hammond? Did you just do it right now?
I got it yesterday when I was...
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to see if I had enough tokens. And I did. I'm like, I guess I'm not getting Diva again.
So, is it worth it?
It's pretty worth it. It's really slick looking.
It's really cool looking. I probably have enough for another one because I've been, just leaving the stream on sometimes. I haven't logged onto my Overwatch account on PC in a while.
Yeah.
I probably should, especially to go check out PTR changes, but I'm too lazy to play one game on 2 systems right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, let's
what was your match
of the week this week?
Yeah. Only 2 days, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday, Justice are playing the Paris Eternal, and at this point, what's probably the worst match of the week or of Overwatch League so far.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Paris are going to wipe the floor with them. But
I think so too.
I think
For
it'll
sure.
be a very nice game for Paris to come back and do
Right.
well, and just something nice that they can do.
They don't have any chance of getting the finals this season stage, of course. So that will be a low stakes game.
They showed yesterday after the week was done about what teams were actually eliminated at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know if Paris was or not.
I'm sure they probably are at this point.
It was weird because it's based on divisions, and some are better than others. But
maybe if they 4-0, they might get it. But
yeah, we have London versus Seoul. That should be a good game.
They're both 3-3 right now, so we'll get to see who's the better bullshit team right now.
They're both 3-3. Neither of them are currently in. Are they?
Really? That's good to see.
Both London and Seoul are sitting at 10 and 11 right now.
Huh.
Yeah, it's be a good game.
Seoul is actually doing better than London. Good for them.
Whoever wins that might actually get into playoffs.
Maybe, yeah, they're both close. I think we kind of have a bye week this week because I think Boston will be a pretty easy fight for us.
I don't know about that. Boston's going to be fairly middle of the road. I think they're not going to be a cakewalk for us.
Okay.
But I think we can definitely beat them. Again, Dallas is going to be a harder team to kind of call for because we can lose to bad teams, but then we play the Philly Fusion. Oh, wait, I already said bad team. Oh.
Ooh, boy.
ACAM's probably better than Color Hexed.
Yeah.
Zarya.
Yeah. ACAM's just
God.
Zombie.
What was interesting, again, Boston versus, I think it was Defiant a week or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Defiant. Defiant, I think, absolutely wiped the floor with Boston.
Oh, yeah.
It came down because Toronto's Lucio player, I think it was, Neko, was Boston's Lucio player last year.
Oh, there we go.
And so, effectively, what it came down to, they looked fairly evenly matched, but Boston's Lucio player, or Zenyatta, it was Zenyatta.
Yeah.
Their Zenyatta player, Aim God, was effectively a backup.
Huh.
Versus a starting player, who I assume they would rather have. And in that match, it was very clear who was the better Zenyatta.
Right. The next match that on Saturday is probably my most anticipated for the next week. Atlanta versus Chengdu. I think that's going to be a really good fight.
Oh man, Chengdu's not a walk in the park for any team, I don't think.
No.
I think Atlanta looks well coached enough. They're probably a little shook because of that loss to the Gladiators.
Yeah.
But
if they were coming off a win from last week, I would give this to Atlanta probably easily, but right now I'm on the fence.
I'm still giving this to Atlanta because I think that Gladiators game was a wake-up call for them.
Right.
I think, if Chengdu didn't nearly beat Vancouver last week, I think that Chengdu would win.
Right.
But because Atlanta is going to get their acts together, and they realize that Chengdu can play 3-3, especially against a really good team, I think they're going to be extremely well prepared for this game. I think Atlanta could easily 4-0 them.
I think so.
Seoul 4-0 them. Chengdu are officially out of the Stage 1 contention.
Oh, yeah.
They're currently ranked 17.
Oof. Rip.
I don't think they're playing as a 17 team, but...
No, I think they look decent still.
They're better than Outlaws, I think. Well, they lost to Outlaws, but...
Oof. And then Sunday, we've got Philly versus Paris, which... Yeah. That would have been an exciting match a few weeks ago.
I think it'll still be an exciting match, because I think Paris's GOATs is still good enough it can beat Philly's GOATs.
Yeah. So that'll be a weird GOATs v GOATs matchup, of course. A very rare to see in Overwatch League GOATs v GOATs.
GOATs v GOATs. And then Washington gets another easy matchup against the Florida Mayhem.
Oh boy.
I think Florida's gonna win. I think
they are too.
Florida is a very textbook by the book team when it comes to many of their matchups. They were playing against Uprising last week. I believe they got 4-0'd by Uprising.
Yep.
But they can put up a fight. They know how to play textbook Overwatch. It's just that GOATs is not their best thing. They know
Right.
how to plan against GOATs and beat GOATs. Their only win of the season was against Philadelphia Fusion, which are a good team. So
And it's Washington, so
yeah,
I really don't see Washington making any changes to being good soon. So
The question
that's
is,
just how it's going to be.
I'm actually really interested because I truly think that whichever team, like, if Washington loses to Paris on Saturday, whichever team loses this matchup, their coach will probably be fired.
Right. Yeah, I think it's about that time to start firing some more people.
Because Justice will also be 0-7 at that point, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, if they lose to Paris, they'll also be 0-7 if they lose to Mayhem. And then Florida looks very sloppy. Something's missing. They know how to. They can play against GOATs, but they don't know how to win at this current
Yeah,
state. It
they
could
don't
just
actually-
be meta dependent because I mean Florida was bad last year too. Let's just be
Right.
real for a second. But
Yeah, they were a fun team to watch, but they were bad. And then right after that, Houston versus Atlanta, which I have literally not seen anything from Houston all this year.
yeah, Houston
I haven't
are
been paying
currently
attention to
11
them at all.
at 3-3. They're going to be very middle of the road, 12, 13, and 1.
Yeah. So
I think it won't be completely one-sided, but
No.
I think Atlanta will still win 3-1.
if they go into that game 4-2,
Yeah.
I say they're going to win. If they go into it 3-3, I think it's going to be a better match, a more even match.
Yeah. Then Vancouver, Guangzhou.
Which I'm going to stick with Vancouver, of course.
That's going to be my game of the week because I think both of those teams are really good. Guangzhou's right at the cusp, so they're really going to need a win to stay in. I'm pretty sure they need this win to stay in because of all the other interactions. I think if they don't, they're going to get pushed out. I mean, they'll be 3-4 at that point. Hopefully, one of the other teams.
Yeah, they really need to win. I mean, because the team below them is Boston.
Yes.
Well, so it looks like if Dynasty wins and Boston lose, they still get pushed out. But if Boston wins and it's Dynasty loses, yeah, if because they're both at the same differential, so they just need one of those teams to lose, and I think they'll be good.
Yeah, there's a lot.
They need to win.
There's only 2 days of matches. There's only 8 games.
Yeah,
we can easily calculate this, but I don't want to do that right now.
No, God, no.
Because it's still a lot of if this then that, and that just gets a lot more complicated.
Right.
But at this point in time,
it should be a good week. And then do we get stage playoffs the following
playoffs
week?
are the
Is that
next
how that works?
Yeah,
Okay.
March, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 21st through the 24th.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then stage 2 is going to kick off on my birthday. Exciting. April 4th. I forgot about that again, and I'm pretty sure we already mentioned that.
And in stage 2, week 4, we get the ultimate weekend for Dallas.
Nice. That'll be exciting.
The big home games against the Valiant and Outlaws, so hopefully we get 2 free wins.
That'll be really cool. I wonder what... Oh, when is that? It's April 27th. That'll be right after I graduate. Maybe I'll just fly down to Dallas and watch some home games.
Dude, honestly, you should do it as a celebration.
Yeah. I might go to work down in Dallas for all I know, so
yeah,
maybe I'll just end up there.
Right now, so we can peer pressure you into doing this.
Yeah, let's check them out.
Weekend pass. All games, premium seating and viewing options. And
of course. God, yeah.
Look at the slate of games. Paris, London, Chengdu, Spark, Outlaws, Dynasty, Dallas, Valiant. Okay, so they're all there in Dallas that weekend, which is cool.
That's really cool.
Games.
I'm glad that they're actually doing this, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Doing away games, I guess you could call them. I'm trying to find these passes.
Oh, they're actually... Oh, you actually have to pick your seat.
Ugh.
I have to load Flash just to get this to work.
I'm just going
to give them a...
Let's check. Hold on. Bowl seating. What's the most... VIP. Where's the VIP section?
Right in the middle.
Oh, wow.
It's not available, though.
$250. Yeah, I'm totally going to drop $250 for some goddamn Overwatch games.
Okay, there's a 125 2-day admission. That's not awful.
There's an 85 2-day admission.
Honestly, you should, because, like, it's that, Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday. You could easily, go down, when's your graduation, then?
The 26th.
20, okay.
Yeah, I could easily make it.
You'd have to leave early in the morning, but
I could make it.
You'd make it.
I might. That might happen. We'll see.
Because what time would those games be?
Like,
it would kick off. For me, it says 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
I don't think this is updated.
No, it's
stage
not.
1.
Yeah, it's not updated on the website either.
They have week
Either
2
websites.
updates. They have week 1, week 2, week 3 updated. They just don't have week 4 updated.
Yeah, there you go.
Unless they're all playing simultaneously at 3 a.m. or what is that? 1 a.m. Texas time.
Oh boy, 4 a.m.
Who wants to sit and watch Overwatch at 3 in the morning? Oh boy, 3 a.m.
Okay,
I
so
started this last week. My slaughter game of the week.
Yes.
Pick. I think my slaughter of the week is going to be the very first game, Paris, Washington.
I think it has to be.
Because all the other games, I think, are very evenly matched. They could go one way or the other. I could easily see every game this week, I think, except that one is going to be competitive.
Yeah, even the Washington-Florida game, because they're both going to be pretty evenly sucky.
Bad,
you know,
but Florida isn't atrocious. They're not on the level of the Justice.
Right.
I mean, they're down there, but like Florida,
but so are the Valiant.
Decent enough coaching that they can be competitive.
Right. That will be watchable, you know. Yeah. But Paris, Washington is probably going to be just a 4-0.
Yeah, Paris is going to, I think, come away with it. I think it'll be a slaughter.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. I don't have any other like possible ones that I could say, so it's got to be that one.
I will say, any of these games, I feel like could easily be a 4-0. I completely think so. Because, I mean, who would have thought Dallas was going to 4-0 Shanghai the week after they barely won?
That's true. Yeah, these games are pretty crazy a lot. We'll see. I'm excited to see the slaughter, of course.
Yeah.
But I want to see how we're going to do this week.
If I had a second pick, it would probably be Atlanta-Houston or Atlanta-Chengdu. But I think it'll be Paris-Washington. I think Paris are going to completely run away with that. And it'll be a nice tune-up game for them so they can actually focus on the Philadelphia matchup, which should be harder.
Right. How angry will you be if you're wrong on that one?
I wouldn't be angry because I've already lost faith in Paris, and then Washington will actually get a win. So
okay, makes sense. Which one were you really shocked about this week that you called wrong? The Gladiators one.
Games. Both Gladiators games. I was so upset about that. I missed the Gladiators one. I missed Did I call all of Friday right?
You might have. What were your calls for Friday?
That's a good question.
Friday was Paris, Vancouver, New York, San Francisco, Dallas, Shanghai.
Yeah, I think I called for Shanghai. I called
Shanghai
that's over
right.
Dallas
yeah, that's
2
right.
days in a row.
Shanghai. Oh, that's brutal.
I'm happy at how that turned out. I'm very happy Dallas got there. I think it was their first 4-0 in league history.
It was. Yeah, it was. For sure.
Good on them.
Good on them. Good for Dallas. Burn blue.
Yeah. They had a fight for it, but it was good.
Yeah. Any other Overwatch League news you want to go over?
I don't think so. I'm just disappointed in Paris.
Yeah, me too. I wanted them to be an exciting team, but I'm still glad that we have one franchise team that's really exciting to watch and doing really well.
And the other team we liked at the beginning of the season, we can at least direct our Season 1 Dallas feelings.
Right. Yep. Yeah, for sure. Last week, we started talking about some of our early favorite games from this year.
Yes.
Do you have any front runners so far?
Ooh, what have I started playing this year? I haven't really dove into a ton of games. Like, I actually fairly started off with a decent amount of games actually this year, but none of them have really gotten me extremely invested to start 2019 because I'm still waiting later for Pokemon, still waiting for Fire Emblem, still waiting for Dragon Quest XI again, but this time on Switch.
Of course.
The games that'll get me playing at least 60 hours apiece.
Right.
But I actually played a decent amount of games for it being only early March. I started Dragon Quest Builders, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for my Switch.
Nice.
Titanfall 2, which is pretty sweet.
Very good choice. Very good choice.
Yeah, I got it for my friend. Gave it to me for my birthday. It was that and Lego Harry Potter.
Very nice.
For me and my girlfriend to play. And then, because there was a Steam Winter Sale, I got Cuphead.
Nice.
It's fun that I get my ass handed to me because I'm not good at video games most of the time.
It's actually pretty hard for me too. I probably would get wrecked at it too.
Yeah. Prison Architect because I have
nice,
but I waited too long for me to return it because I'm not entirely invested in it. But if I had more time, well, I have a lot of time, but if I had the inclination to just sit around and like get good at it, that'd be one thing. And then
Right.
Hollow Knight as well. That
Ooh, good one. Good one.
I waited too late to return it on Steam.
That's a good game, though. I think you
I
should play
know
out
that's
through.
why I got it, but my computer for some reason cannot run it.
Oof.
I
Oh,
don't
that
know why.
sucks.
It's like graphically incapable of running it, I guess.
It's a pretty looking game, but I don't think it's.
It lags a ton. It's
Yeah.
really ridiculous. Like I can play Cuphead, I can play Portals 1 and 2, but those are granted old games at this point because Portal
Right.
2 I think is like what 10 years old at this point.
Yeah, it's 10 years old now. Isn't that insane?
The best games of all time.
Oh yeah. I don't have too much time to play too much stuff now, but I've been playing a good amount of Metal Gear still this year.
Nice.
I started playing again XCOM 2.
Ooh, my friend beat it just the other day again for the third time.
If you haven't played either of the XCOMs, I highly recommend that one.
See, I'm not a big fan of those like strategy games, insta-death things, because they're not my cup of tea. But that being said, I also love Fire Emblem. So
Right.
my other game I have on here is One of my other games is Fire Emblem Fates: The Revelation Path, which I just beat the other day.
Nice.
A lot of fun. I'm excited for Three Houses.
What else have I been playing? I am kind of shocked at this still. I'm playing a good amount of Apex still.
Speaking of Titanfall.
Speaking of Titanfall, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna replay Titanfall again soon. I only ever played it when I lived with my old roommates.
Yeah.
Because my old roommate basically just played that all the time, and I would just sit and watch him playing it because it was so exciting to watch.
Oh, it's so much fun. Speaking of Titanfall as well.
Yeah.
I haven't started playing it, but the free game of the month that I just downloaded was Call of Duty 4 Remastered.
I actually am going to pick that up because I have fond memories of Call of Duty.
March's free games are solid.
What's the other one?
Modern Warfare Remastered, and the other one that I started playing is a little game called The Witness.
Oh,
it's a little puzzle game, a very surreal-looking puzzle game that really takes what you think about. It starts fairly simple with its puzzles. It's basically the exact same thing. You're trying to trace a line throughout a grid and try and get to the end with it. But it takes so many different twists on it. It's a very surreal atmosphere. I'm pretty interested in it.
Oh, yeah. I have heard a lot of good things about that game.
I like the things. And the other one, I just finished up playing Deltarune as well, Chapter 1.
How was it?
I mean, it's fine.
Ooh.
I mean, it's Undertale, so, like, it's got the fun world of it. It's very different. I'm a little annoyed at Toby Fox because just give us a full game at this point. I know it took you 23 years to make Undertale, but, like, I hate this trend of people releasing these unfinished games to everybody.
Does it feel unfinished?
Well, it's the first chapter. It's very well polished. It's extremely well polished. It's just the entire story of the game is not completed yet.
Okay.
I randomly dropped it on Halloween 20.
Yeah.
I started playing it on Halloween and just didn't finish it until like a couple days ago.
Is it the same style as Undertale?
Okay, it's different. It's an RPG. It's like a turn-based RPG now.
Okay.
Kind of Final Fantasy stylized, but it's the same core mechanics where you can choose to slice these guys to death, or there's different combinations with your team members that you can use to get them to spare them.
Nice.
It's interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with the full game. I'm annoyed that they keep doing this whole Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3.
Right,
blah,
just give
blah.
you the game.
Yeah, I'm okay with giving us a 6-hour Undertale.
Right.
Like, I love how popular Undertale is. The humor is remarkable for its time, but I'm not a huge fan. It's very like Tumblr cringy sort of.
Yeah. That's kind of what put me away from it.
Like, I played it, and it was really fun. It was a really good game. I cannot emphasize enough how good Undertale actually is, but it's not for me.
Yeah, I feel that, and I from watching a lot of footage from it, it wouldn't have been for me. That I just started
get it for
recently.
under $10. It's completely
to
play. It's really good, but
one that I just started recently that I need to pick up again is Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah,
it's a very it's kind of a depressing game. You play as like a character that is like dying from this disease.
Oh, okay.
And you're kind of battling through this area to, find the cure,
Isn't that Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yeah, it's Red Dead Redemption, minus the Haw. Uh, that's Hyperlight Drifter.
And the rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting.
Yellow Feller Endeavor.
Oh, yeah.
But its developer actually has a congenital heart disease.
Oh, wow.
And it's like this one guy that made it. And like he put a lot of like his own,
Oh, so it's like directly from his perspective into it.
Yeah, it's really it's depressing knowing that,
That
because,
is,
like this is this guy's like life almost.
Oh man.
But the game is beautiful. It is one of the most beautiful pixel art games I've ever seen, and I am
good pixel art.
I am a self-professed lover of my, one of my favorite pixel art games, Hotline Miami 2 and Hotline Miami. But Hyperlight Drifter gives it a goddamn run of its money on pixel art. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Just one of the scenes that I ended on was just like coming up to this like massive chasm where you get to see the kingdom that you're going to be going through the entire game, and just that like fade out of the opening sequence ended at this, where you, like it was just finishing up the tutorial and it just panned over to this beautiful pixel art kingdom, and you're just like, oh man, this is going to be great. I love when games take a creative art style like that.
Mm-hmm. That's what was great about, Undertale. It had the mother kind of art style. That was what was great about Stardew Valley. Speaking of games that were made by one person, pixel art.
Is Stardew Valley all one person?
All one person.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I never played it, and I probably won't, because that's not my style of game.
They added a co-op mode.
That I would potentially play.
You should get it, and then we could co-op, and then we could do maybe a live stream and get our no listeners to watch it.
Oh damn, I'm down for getting nobody to watch.
We officially have another subscriber to our podcast.
Oh wow.
Granted, he's one of my friends, but
oh well, whatever.
Shout out to Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
I don't think he's actually watched it. I think I advertised it in their group chat. And he just said, I went and comment, subscribe. Like, thanks, buddy. Nice. He said, 100 out of 10.
A glowing review.
100 out of 10.
Speaking of that, 4 weeks in a row. That's a whole month.
Whole month of Overwatch.
Whole month of Overwatch lives, or podcast, not live streams. We haven't started live streaming yet.
We have an official Twitter account.
We sure do.
We have official logo. Official thumbnail art provided by my girlfriend.
Well, goddamn, I didn't know your girlfriend did that. It was really good.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how it all turned out.
What's the handle again for the listeners at home?
The listeners at home, our Twitter handle is full_tank_pod.
Yeah, there you go.
Full Tank Pod.
Full Tank Pod. We're going to be posting our episodes to it. We'll probably post some Overwatch news to it too.
Yes, we teased last week, or we teased 2 weeks ago, that last week we were going to have you complain about some No Man's Sky.
Oh God! So
we left them waiting for more last week.
My dad just got a PS4 Pro.
Yes,
and I actually suggested that he should play that because I think it's a very relaxing game. So, for some backstory, I was the poster child for that goddamn game when it came out. I was hyping it up. I thought it was the coolest concept for a game, No Man's Sky.
I have never seen somebody want a game so much.
It was the perfect style of game that I was looking for.
And then got disappointed so hard.
It's exactly what I wanted from it. I wanted a game that I could fly around. I could be a space pirate. I wanted to be Cowboy Bebop, basically. I wanted to go around, scavenge, and bounty hunt, That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it basically just launched as a Pokemon Snap game that didn't have anything else to do besides taking pictures of shit, basically, and going to new planets and looking at a new planet for a while and then leaving it after you got enough resources to leave that planet.
But I mean,
it's very boring at launch.
The first 2 hours of playing it was great though.
That first 2 hours, I did really enjoy. I remember me and my brother, we got ours. We both set up our PS4s because this is right after we had lived apart for a while, So we both, got our stuff and met up at my house and played this game. And we loved it that first night. We were, trying to find each other or something like that. We can never find each other, of course.
There's
but
15 quadrillion planets or whatever.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. They said a giant number.
You're naming all these animals that basically look the same, ridiculous things.
It was just a horrible, buggy, glitched start at the beginning, but it was really pretty to walk around and explore.
Yes.
But that was it. It was a very surface level game. And then just radio silence for months and months and months from the developers. And then they were like, all right, we're going to come out with the new patch. And they released this new patch, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go check it out again. And it was just awful still. It was the same stuff. They tried to add like a story to it that would just completely fall on its face. They tried to add a building, base building that was just completely boring.
Yeah.
And then I just completely fell off on it for months and months and months. They did release a new update recently. Yeah. And I went back to it, and it's actually playable now. I could play that game for, an hour at a time once a week if I wanted to.
The game
is
fun.
Is okay. It's okay now. It's one of those ones where, if I want to just have a nice relaxing night where I'm going to eat some popcorn and, maybe talk on the phone with somebody, I'm going to just play some No Man's Sky to drown out the noise for a while. They did do a good job at getting it to that point. And I'm happy that a game company that small that received that much negative press over the launch of a game
was astounding because it was a small game company that made it. Then they got all this hype and they got overwhelmed by it.
Oh, for sure. They could not handle that hype at all. And they promised too big. They shouldn't have promised what they promised. They knew what they were going to release, in the time frame they knew that they could release the game that they announced, but it wasn't going to be for another 4 or 5 years,
I mean, how long was the game released ago? 3 years, and now it's basically what they sort of promised.
It's almost to the point where they promised what they had announced. And, if you want to pick up that game for $5 now and just play the creative mode on it, I think that's totally justifiable. Yeah. You get in there, you explore some planets, you set up a stupid looking base that looks like a dick, and then you move on to another planet. And especially now, you can meet up with other people. And you can do other stuff with other people.
Because they got kicked while they were down a bit after the game came out, because it got to the point where, hey, players were now able to actually they were able to find each other's planets.
Yeah.
And it was promised that, this is all multiplayer, you could find people, but you're not going to because it's so big. And then they lied about that because they got to the same exact planet, couldn't find each other.
Sweet little lies. Lies that they just tried to...
They're already dead at that point. You're just kicking them more at that.
It's a failed game, but I do like to see that it does actually still have a small player base of people that just going in there and messing around on it, basically.
Of course.
Which is cool to see. I think it still has.
I'm excited because it'll be a free PS4 game of the month at some point. I assume I might pick it up then.
For sure. Pick it up then. Play it for an hour every once in a while when you just want to relax. Play it on creative mode, and you'll have a decent time.
See, I don't even know if I would play it then as a relaxed game because it feels like it's a lot of work. Go to this planet.
Play it on creative mode.
Yeah, but I feel like if I want to get the creative itch, I go play something else.
Right. Any other games coming out soon that you are interested in?
Like I said, there's not much I really want right now.
Right now, I'm super hyped up on Sekiro coming out in 2 weeks.
Yes, we got the official launch trailer today, didn't we?
It was today or yesterday? No, today.
It was today. It was this morning.
That's the series that I'll always go back to. I love
Japanese Dark Souls.
Japanese Dark Souls. I'm glad that they're making it over the top. Because I thought they were going to make it subdued, and from seeing the trailer, they have crazy, ridiculous creatures in it, which is one of my favorite things about it.
The last one, it was that big sloth ape thing that was just banging around. This is Dark Souls. Awesome.
I didn't think they were going to do as much stuff like that, and that was one of my main worries with this game. And they know how to make me happy.
Yeah, from software, it was up until that point in the trailer. Up until that point in the trailer, it looked fairly toned down until they got to that. I'm like, hey, this is a Dark Souls game. the one thing that annoyed me from the trailer, I have no interest in playing this. I've never
Right.
played any Dark Souls, no interest in the series whatsoever. But what I was like, this looks fucking stupid. What was that one big ass like boar thing with the on fire log tied to his forehead?
I think that looks great.
I just saw that and I'm like,
That's
okay,
so in character for a Dark Souls boss.
It's like he's going down this hallway and turning around, and you're like fading in and out, and that's really all you're doing.
Yeah, but that's the new teleports behind you. Nothing personal, kid. Move.
Nothing personnel.
Unsheath katana. Bankai. Move. I'm a huge fan of the Soul series. They've done a few of these like offshoot games.
Yeah.
Where I could kind of consider Demon Souls to be the first of the offshoot games, you know.
Well, that was the first game, wasn't it?
It was, but they found their success with the Dark Souls franchise, you know.
And everybody
but they have
who's like
this kind
Dark
of
Souls,
branching
like,
off.
Demon Souls is better, it's harder than all this stuff. Like, okay.
They haven't played Bloodborne. Bloodborne is probably one of the better ones. I still hold that Dark Souls 1 is my favorite, but Bloodborne's really good. And the thing that they do so well with these From Software games is they get the kind of like atmosphere of it so perfect.
Yes.
They wanted Bloodborne to be an basically Lovecraftian horror game. Yeah. And it's one of the best like Lovecraftian fictions out there now, I think, with all its lore and everything.
While still being very Dark Souls.
Very Dark Souls, very fun. I think harder than most of the Dark Souls because it's faster paced. And what they decided to do with Sekiro was not only make it faster, but add a grappling hook to make it even more over the top and insane. So it's faster Bloodborne.
It's Japanese focus, so it's already going to be over the top anime. So you may as well have the grapple gun to just make an Attack on Titan already.
Of course. So I'm gonna put way too much time into that game. I'm gonna fail out of all my classes. I'm gonna drop out. I'm gonna live on the streets of Portland.
There you go.
I'll have some fond memories of Sekiro to go along with me to the end. You know, into oblivion, of course.
You did remind me. I actually did play. I have another game I can add to my games I played this year list.
Yeah,
it was one I actually played this weekend. It was Snipper Clips for the Nintendo Switch.
How is it?
So I wanted this one for a bit because it's a co-op like creative puzzle game. My girlfriend got it for me for Valentine's Day.
Nice.
A couple weeks ago. And it's a game we've been wanting because whenever we would just walk around like Target or Walmart, we would always go to the Switch aisle.
Of course.
And play the demo. And it's a game we can play together. Co-op. And it's very like right brain, creative, puzzle thinking. Right. And she's better at it than me because it's puzzly. And it's a game we can play together. And we started playing it this weekend. And we had a lot of fun doing so.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a fun little puzzle game. Very cute. It's co-op, so there's naturally all the interactions between you and your partner who can play it. It's of course it's a co-op puzzle game. It's reminiscent to Portal 2 when you get frustrated with each other at times.
Perfect.
Out. But yeah, right at the moment in time, it's an early contender for one of my Game of the Year 2019s.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
If I had somebody on the West Coast that cared if I live or died, I'd play it with them. But I don't. So.
And it's good because since I graduated from college and I'm not really going to, yes, thank you, and I'm not going back until the fall. I don't know if I told you this, but I officially got accepted into my master's program.
I did hear about this. It's super awesome.
My master's program. And I also got the maximum scholarship there.
Hey, woo!
And a graduate assistantship for a 5,000 stipend a semester.
Whew. Very nice.
Awesome.
Go Ben.
Yeah. It's great but going back to Snipper Clips, it's great for right now because I'm going to be playing through the game all with my girlfriend. And since she's still at college and I'm not, we can't see each other that much or play it that much. So it's great for when we do see it, we have something we can sit down and just play it in bite-sized pieces for a bit.
Right.
So it still keeps it fresh without us getting burnt out and angry at each other because it's a cooperative game.
And then you fuck over the other one, and then it starts a whole fight, and then you end up with a black eye.
It's a lot of fun because there's a lot of you have to push a pencil that it's effectively a button that resets and like drops it'll like drop a ball, it'll reform what you have to clip or whatever.
Right.
And I always just like spam it either on purpose or by accident, especially when it's like put the ball in the hoop and my girlfriend's trying to catch it. I'm like, okay, you dropped it. Let's try again. Try again. Try again.
Have you tried, what's that other one? The other really good co-op game that's out on Switch. The cooking one.
Oh, Overcooked 2.
Overcooked. I heard that one's
not.
like a great co-op game.
I've heard only good things about that game.
I really would like to try that one. It looks like is it on Switch?
I think it's on Switch, but me personally, I don't like a lot of those quick action-based games. They're not my cup of tea, so I don't really know how much I would enjoy it.
Right. Yeah, I do need to try that one. I'm still trying to slowly make my way through Let's Go Pikachu, but I have to bust out my Switch every time to do it, and that's just, it's all the way in my dresser on the other side of the room, you know, my PS4 remote's right here.
The Switch prides itself in being a portable system, though.
But yeah, it's way over there, you know, where like my PS4 remote it's right here, you know?
That's fair.
I'd have to get up and then like walk over there and like pull the Switch out of the dock, you know? Whereas with the PS4, I did it. I'm done, you know?
Did it.
I just did it right now. I'm gonna open up Hulu now. See, that's just as easy as that. If I want to play goddamn Pokemon Red and Blue, I have to go get a whole other system. And I've already played Pokemon Red and Blue.
Yeah, I understand that. But
I'm still gonna wait for the new one until I'm actually consistently playing Pokemon. I can't play just Pokemon Go knockoff right now.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's a main series game. It's very core Pokemon, but geared more towards casual people.
Right.
It's just Kanto for the 80th time.
You do consider it main series?
It is.
I mean,
it's not a knockoff. It's like it's not a spin-off game. It's still the exact same Pokemon genre. It's just they simplified the mechanics. It's a better looking Pokemon Yellow that has some different, that they just narrowed down the mechanics to it.
Do you think they released that game to be like a test demo for the new Sword and Shield?
No, they I believe they initially said it last year during when Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were announced. I think first that what they're going to do is kind of have it split off and have a more casual audience focused set of games. The first being Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, geared more towards getting people into the game, a lot more simplified.
Right.
And then having the
because not enough people know about Pokemon, you know.
Yeah, of course. But like, especially with Let's Go, because it's based on, you know, Pokemon Go, a lot of that integration together. A lot of people play Pokemon Go. A lot of people still play Pokemon Go.
They do.
And they want people to actually get into the main game too. See what it's all about. And then they also split it into the actual, what we know as Pokemon, the classic hardcore, geared more towards the classic fan base of it, which is what we're have in Sword and Shield.
The shiny farmers and all that.
Oh, shiny farming is great in Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the big mechanic of just in general, Pikachu and Eevee, you have all of these different Pokemon that appear in the overworld now.
Right.
You can choose what you want to find, essentially, meaning you have however many Pokemon are on the screen, chances of finding a shiny now instead of just one battle.
It's easier.
And also, coupled with the fact that it's Pokemon, it's Gen 1.
Right.
Meaning only 150 Pokemon you need to catch to complete the Pokemon Dex, which gives you the shiny charm to raise your chances even more.
Wait, I didn't know that happened. Wait, what?
That's what it's been the past however many games, that if you complete the full Pokedex, the full National Dex, you get a shiny charm, which basically cuts the shiny chance in like half.
What?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Well, what was the last time you ever completed the entire Pokedex?
Never.
Exactly.
And I don't intend to.
Obviously, in Gen 1 Pokemon, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And now that it's incredibly easy to just chain Pokemon, because you can find the exact Pokemon you want to find, especially for shiny hunting.
Right.
And Pokeballs are as cheap as water. You get them literally for even catching some other Pokemon. So you never run out. And it's great for shiny hunting.
One last thing on Pokemon before we start to wrap things up here. So for the next
biggest news that we have.
Oh, I was gonna bring something up about
What do you got?
Sword and Shield.
What do you got?
So I saw the other day they posted something about Twitter about the gyms, and I kind of posted a little something about how I kind of envisioned the new gyms should be, where it's something where that you can continue their turn and get higher challenges, so that gyms don't just stay like a checkpoint for each town, like something that you visit once and then there's nothing you can do in them after that.
Yeah.
You know, did you have any kind of other things that you would like to see out of the gyms for this new one?
Well, they reworded it in a tweet that I think got immediately deleted.
Really?
They might have posted something out. They referred to them as gym masters as opposed to gym leaders.
Really?
I don't know what that means and what this entails, but they re-envisioned the gyms as the huge, big stadiums, which I enjoy.
I would like to see like you finally become the leader of the gym, and then like people come to challenge you, so that keeps the challenge.
Have you
going.
played Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon?
Yes. Oh, not Ultra Sun and Moon. Is there a difference?
Did you beat that game? Did you beat those games?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay, because in Sun and Moon, and Ultra Sun and Moon as well, the whole thing with Professor Kukui is that he's trying to build up. He just came back from the Kanto region from fighting their gym leaders in Ep4 and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to bring in that style Pokemon League to Alola. And so near the middle end of game, he's talking about how he's going to build together a Pokemon League. How he assembled a bunch of people, a bunch of his friends, to act as the Elite Four members. Like the first two Kahunas, you had the Ghost Trial Leader, and then you had one of his friends who's that Flying type golfer, is one of the Elite Fours. But there is no champion.
Do you get to become the champion?
You become the champion.
Oh.
You go in. Oh. Of course, as soon as you beat the Elite Four, you go on. Kukui's like, nice, that means you're the champion. But you need one final battle. We'll go it against me.
Of course.
And you fight him, and then you win, and then you become the champion. And so what you do then, when you actually have a throne that you can sit on too. Which is
cool. Hell yeah.
And what you do when you're doing the rematch is you go up there, you sit in your throne, and then a character from a pool of like 8 or so challengers at random comes and fights you.
But I want more variation from that. I want there to be like you go to each one and you can constantly like cycle through people, you know.
Oh, I know. It's at random. I don't think I've fought all of them, but I really like that they did that.
Right.
How many was it? Let's see. 1, 2. Oh no, let's see. Okay, so when it's Ultra Sun and Moon, you fight Hao instead of Professor Kukui.
Yeah.
But so you can fight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 potential challengers.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
It's a really sweet idea that I hope they keep up.
Yeah, they need to keep something to do with the gyms after you're done with them. So wait. What was the big thing that you were saying earlier?
Oh, like the big news I had?
Yeah.
Or was it Pokemon related?
No, because when I said
it's the last thing on our show docket.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There was a Twitter account that came out this.
Oh my god.
It's about gaming. It's a Twitter account called "Can You Pet the Dog?" And it is the most informative Twitter account I've ever seen. It's probably the best one I've ever ran into.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's called "Can You Pet the Dog?" and it is a catalog of pettable and non-pettable dogs in video games.
Right. Annual
input resulting in visual representation of petting is required for affirmation. And basically, this account looks at a bunch of video games, and they have dogs in it, and they tell you if you're able to pet the dog or not.
News alert, you can pet the dog in 10 dogs.
Yes.
You can. Confirmed here on this Twitter account, you pet your dog? Can you pet the dog?
Yeah.
It's
a tale. Hard-hitting journalism I require.
It sure is. This is the content that I was looking for on Twitter.
It lets you know if playing a game is worth it.
Right.
Like, my one friend loves playing roguelikes. And there was the one, Enter the Gungeon.
Yes.
Gungeon. And one of the characters has a pet corgi.
But guess what you cannot do?
That's pretty cool. You can't pet him, though.
Can't pet the dog.
Not a big fan of roguelikes. I heard there was a dog. I'm like, okay, might want to give it a try. You can't pet him.
You can't pet the dog.
Now I know I don't want to play it.
God, no.
No. Awful. Don't want.
Did you know that you can pet the dog in Mass Effect 2?
I do know. I don't think that counts as a dog. It's a big old bug.
Did you know that you cannot? And I stress this. I still love this game. You cannot pet the dog in Dark Souls 1 because the dog bites you and kills you with a giant sword.
The one that shocked me the most, I played Super Mario Odyssey. You can, like, throw your hat out to have him fetch it. You can play catch with him. He can dig and find you moons in the ground. He's a very good boy, but you can't pet him.
You can't pet the dog.
Can't pet him.
You know what's the worst one? The most criminal one?
What?
The most open world explorative game that came out last year.
On this account, yes.
Breath of the Wild. You can't pet the goddamn dogs.
Can't pet him. You can make them like spin circles and stuff. You can't make
No,
them
I don't give a shit about making the dog spin in circles. I want to pet the dog so I can know that he or she is a good boy or girl.
Talking about games of the year, can't pet the dog in Breath of the Wild. You can in Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Petting the dogs in God of War was just ripping off Wolverine's torso, so I don't know if that's petting, but that was still my game of the year.
The hard-hitting commentary you're looking for out of your podcast.
I think we're finally at the point where we have like all of the information that we could possibly get out of Twitter, you know?
Yeah.
That was the final missing piece.
Yeah, that's everything we needed, because now I know whether I want to buy a game or not. I can wait a week and see if the game I want to play for however long has a dog in it, and if I can pet it or not.
Right. It's in the same vein of important internet information sites such as isdmxinjail.com, which if I go there right now, luckily DMX is not in jail according to this website. So just so you know, now you know that.
It's like the very old, like I'm talking 10 years ago, did the Cavs win last night.com.
Yeah.
If you try and go to that website now, you'll get a virus.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Have you ever been on whattimeisitRightNow.com?
Yeah.
The BoJack Horseman variation of this bit.
That randomly produced a hit TV show.
Yeah.
What was that show called? In season
Filbert. Oh, man.
Filbert.
I love BoJack Horseman. That's one of my favorite shows right now still.
That's amazing. That cast is ridiculous. Season 5 of Filbert, the creator of the show was now Academy Award-winning actor Rami Malek.
Oh, yeah, Rami Malek.
Yeah.
I think he's great. He's super good. But yeah. And the only other, I mean, I guess we could talk about movies for a second. The only other movie I'm excited for is Dune, which is going to come out like next year.
Oh yeah, they're doing Dune.
But
I saw Captain Marvel this weekend. That was pretty good.
I heard that the action was all like saved up to the end. But
there was action here and there. I thought it was fine throughout. But
yeah. I need to go see it because like it's not going to be out on DVD before what's it called?
It'll be in theaters while Infinity War is out. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, probably. So I gotta see it before Endgame comes out.
Infinity War is like mid-August, I think, mid to late August.
I thought it was
April.
Yeah, because April is going to be the best month of my life. It's going to be my 23rd birthday. I'm going to graduate. Game of Thrones is going to start up. Endgame's going to come out. Yeah, there's a game that I'm really excited for coming out in April, I think.
Yeah. April 26th is the release date.
Oh, that's why I graduate. Cool.
Yeah, that's that week. That's that weekend. I'll probably be
exciting stuff. Nice. All right. Well, I think that covers everything for this week. Thank you for joining us here on the Full Tank Podcast.
What do we want to tease for next week?
Tease for next week?
We got to tease for next week, man.
What do we have for next week?
Oh, man. Well, next week we have, of course, week 5 stuff.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Neither do I. You'll find out next week when we figure it out.
Oh, God. Well, we'll figure it out for you then.
Anything you want to part with us, Ben?
Anything I want to part with? I'm kind of freaking out right now.
Yeah?
I did some fun arts and crafts today.
What was the arts and crafts of?
I have it right next to me. I went to a craft store earlier today.
Yeah.
For Valentine's Day, I believe. I think it was Valentine's Day or my birthday, one of the two.
Right.
My girlfriend got me, along with snipper clips, this very cool little wooden dice box.
Ooh.
My gaming stuff. Really cool. It has choose your weapon, like wood burned onto the front of it, carved in with different types of dice. And I did a little project today where I went to the craft store. I bought some felt.
Ooh.
And I lined it with some felt.
I thought that this was gonna be a bit where you were gonna end it with you saying that you made a card that said "buy more loot boxes," but buy more loot boxes also.
Gotta buy
right?
more loot boxes.
Absolutely.
Activision Blizzard needs to stay in business, so
Yeah, and there's no events going on right now, so you need to get all of those non-event items right now.
like I was worried
Naturally.
about recording for this week. Honestly, I didn't know how much we were going to talk about, but then the LA Valiant fired their coach, which is everything I wanted. Because
everything I wanted, drama.
A man lost his job. It's everything I needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we didn't have much to talk about.
But we managed to stretch it out. Yeah.
Stretch it out, and we got some stuff on our show doc to talk about at some point.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us this week.
Yes.
Tune in next week to the Full Tank Podcast, where we're going to talk about more bullshit.
More bullshit. Until then, Activision Blizzard needs to stay around so that
they can keep making more patches for our bullshit game.
And we at least have some content to talk about instead of rambling on about stuff.
Pokemon.
We can at least ramble on about a topic as opposed to just random bullshit, especially because we had no Pokemon news.
Right.
Let's talk to more Pokemon next week because that's the bread and butter of our Overwatch podcast.
Yeah, it's Pokemon news.
Let's talk. We're going to give you some homework. We're going to talk favorite Pokemon of all time next week.
Ooh, okay. Sounds good.
All time.
All right.
Top 10
I will
list.
see you
Top
next
10.
Next week.
Next week.
Tune in next time.
Yes. Until then, buy more loot boxes.
Bye.